Hello and welcome to Loppy Loves Iceland. If you haven't been here before, my name is Lauren and on this channel I talk about my life as an immigrant living in Iceland. Today we have a brand new episode of interviews with the Innlendingar, and today I am talking to Veronika, who is originally from Russia and now lives in Reykjavík. And Veronika is one of the co-founders of a brand new recruitment agency in Iceland called Ugrow, which is actually aimed at immigrants finding jobs in hospitality, tourism, retail and food services. We have a really great chat about life in Iceland, and I think you will really enjoy this interview. So let's jump into it. So I am here today with Veronika. Welcome, Veronika.
Hi.
Would you like to introduce yourself?
Yeah, with pleasure. Thank you for inviting me. I'm very excited. My name is Veronika Guls. I'm from Russia, and on Friday it will actually be 3 years that I'm in Iceland.
Wow.
I just calculated it today.
Yes.
Yes, and before that I only lived in UK for 2 years, but it was very long ago. I was doing my master's there, and then I basically lived in Russia. And yeah, so for the last 3 years, I'm here and enjoying this amazing country.
Congratulations on your anniversary of living in Iceland.
Thank you. I need to celebrate.
Yeah. So why did you move to Iceland? What was the reason?
Yeah, well, basically for love. My husband is he's not Icelander originally. He's from Latvia, but he's been living here um, since he was a kid. So he finished school here, and he considers himself more an Icelander than a Latvian person. But we met when he had a project in Russia,
Okay.
building a huge fish factory. And we met, and then the COVID started, and we got married, and then basically 3 years ago we decided to move.
Right. Hmm.
I guess it's very typical story.
Yeah,
Pretty
I think
simple.
I think a lot of people move here for love.
Love immigrants.
Yeah.
And you?
I actually I came on holiday for a long weekend and loved it. So I came by myself a month later, and I was just going to try Iceland for the summer for 3 months. So
Mhm.
6 months later, after my first trip, I came here and just loved it. So stayed. Yeah, it was a bit of a different one.
I think that's the second most popular
Yeah,
story
yeah.
because I met a couple of people who just came for a vacation, for example, and then loved it and then came back and
I did, yeah.
yeah.
Hmm. So is that the reason is that still the reason that you live in Iceland for him? Or
Yeah.
yeah. Hmm.
We're still here, and yeah, and I start to get used to it. It was
Yeah.
a shock at the beginning. After a huge city like
Yeah.
Moscow, it was really very different, but now I'm starting to like it, really.
Hmm. Did you not at first, or was it
Sorry?
did you not like it at first, or was it just very different?
Well, yeah, it was it seemed such a village for me after a huge city, and it was so everything was different
Hmm.
because like my husband moved from Jurmalo, which is like a very small town in Latvia,
Hmm.
or kind of suburb of Riga, and for him probably it was not such a big difference, but I only lived in like in the big cities,
Yeah.
and when I came first, I was like, where am I?
It was for me as well. I'm from Birmingham, so it's the second biggest city in the UK. And when I came here, I moved to Hveragerði at first. So yeah, big
Okay.
culture shock. This, tiny, tiny town.
But then you get to like it, right? I mean,
Yeah, yeah.
now when I'm traveling to big cities, I feel like a villager in a big city. I'm like, oh my God, that's so many people. It's so crowded. It's so dangerous,
Yeah,
noisy.
yeah. I feel like this when I go home and just go to the city centre. It's too much now. So, do you speak Icelandic?
Uh, I'm trying to, so I'm kind of, it's not going really well. I'm learning. I passed the citizenship exam, but
Congratulations.
it's kind of easy.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm trying. The problem is that my husband speaks Russian as well.
Yeah.
uh, and it doesn't help because I think if you really kind of practice every day at home, at least you learn quicker. But yeah, I don't have a lot of opportunities to practice.
Yeah.
And of course, everyone speaks English. You can watch a cinema in English. You can order food in English, and it's really kind of difficult to practice.
Yeah. Yeah. Hmm.
And Icelanders are switching back to English when they hear that you're not kind
Yeah.
of perfect. They are very quickly switching back
Yeah. Yeah.
English, and you're like, oh,
Yeah, I noticed this, especially I used to live in Reykjavik for a little bit, but when I go to Reykjavik, because I live in Selfoss, I notice this so much more in Reykjavik than Selfoss now. When I visit, like with the Icelanders switching to English when they hear an accent, you know.
I would say it is because of tourists, but Selfoss is a very touristic
Yeah, yeah.
place as well.
Hmm.
I love Selfoss. It's so cute.
Yeah. It
Every time I'm there, I'm like, oh, it's such a cute place.
is. Lovely. So, what do you miss the most about home?
Oh, I miss theater.
Yeah.
I miss like ballets, operas, I mean, everything happening in Moscow because I was a crazy theater goer. I went like twice a week or once a week. And here, of course, I really miss it. So I'm trying to get hold of everything that's happening here, but it's not really a lot. And of course, some big stars are not coming because I mean, even our biggest stage is so small
Yeah.
here. But if something is happening, I'm definitely there. I'm just monitoring everything that's going on. We have Nora Jones is coming very soon.
Hmm. Hmm.
And I'm just monitoring the tickets and buying them straight away so I don't miss anything. But
Yeah.
that's the thing I miss the most, I think.
Yeah. Yeah. Hmm.
And and you?
Yeah, I miss the theatre. I used to go a lot as well to the theatre. Um, and it's hard to say. I used to say that the food was something I missed a lot, but now we have so much British food in the supermarkets, like a lot more than when I first moved here. Um, I think it's the convenience of like where I'm from. If I went to the city, if I needed to buy something, I would 100% be able to buy it, within an hour.
Oh, yes.
Whereas here, probably might have to import something because you might not be able to find it here. And yeah, I think it's convenience, you know.
Yeah, good point.
Yeah,
There's a lot
yeah,
of things you need to order, and they either don't deliver to Iceland or you get that crazy shipment and tax fees and everything. So it's,
hmm,
yeah,
yeah,
shopping is not the easiest thing
no,
here. Okay, yeah, okay, theater and shopping.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
And this quick food deliveries and everything, although we now
yeah,
start to have it.
yeah.
But of course, in Moscow, and I guess that in UK, it was much more.
We had, yeah, yeah, we had this like very common since I was about 16. I'm 31 now, and yeah, I remember when I came here, there wasn't really anything like that. And the first one of these delivery services, I think it was actually by a British guy who just copied the exact business model from the main company in the UK.
Oh, okay.
Yes, yeah, yeah. Yeah. And now we have more. And we finally have them in Selfoss as of about 1 year ago, I think. Yeah, we have
It's
one
so
delivery
cute.
service. Yeah.
Yeah, we're finally getting there.
Yeah, yeah.
Slowly, but
Slowly but surely. Yeah.
yeah.
So what do you enjoy the most about living in Iceland?
I think everyone. Oh, okay. Yeah, people will say nature. I'm not that of a nature lover. Although of course I enjoy the nature and it's beautiful, but I'm not that crazy about nature. So I guess it's more tranquility and calmness and that people are basically smiling around.
Mhm.
They don't really smile a lot in Russia, for example. I mean, just in the streets or if you're ordering coffee, or people don't normally smile. You need to earn the smile, or you need to really, there should be kind of a reason for a smile in my country.
Yeah.
And here people just smile. And I like that it's now becoming even more international with more people coming. And really like, you're in the FKA as well, right? And I
Yeah.
love this new Icelanders FKA community with women, amazing women from all over the world, and
Mhm.
you can really meet very interesting people, and you can mix together and learn from each other and mix this culture. It's great.
Mhm.
It's super international pot
Yeah.
now. A lot of opportunities. It's very nice.
Yeah. I think it's really nice to be around, like, just, yeah, having so many people from different cultures. I think it really widens your perspective on things, like talking to people about different things. And yeah, yeah.
Absolutely, yeah.
It's a really nice part of living here. So, is there anything that you'd like to see in Iceland? Could be like infrastructure or entertainment or restaurants or just anything that you think is missing.
Hmm. Well, we kind of touched on this with the deliveries and shopping. Um, I'd love to see more Calcedonia, for example, for God's sake. I'm missing Calcedonia so much.
Mhm.
And some of the shops that are kind of not present here. And when I go to and McDonald's, oh yes.
You are the first person to say it. I have been waiting for someone to give the answer since I started this. Yeah,
Every time I travel, I try to visit one because I really miss it. I
yeah.
miss a proper Big Mac and yeah, McDonald's. So there are some things, and yeah, and theater, of course, and some of the things, but in general, everything is present, so you can live without.
Mhm.
And by the way, seafood. There's not a lot of seafood here,
Yeah.
which is surprising. I mean, some oysters,
Mhm.
shrimps, octopus, or something like that that you usually can have in Europe or in, I don't know, pretty much everywhere. And here it's just,
Just
for me,
fish.
it's just two types of fish. Red one, red one and white one.
Yeah.
Although my husband name like 10, 10 names of this fish. And he's like, oh, it's not this one, it's this one. And I'm like,
Yeah.
okay, it's the same white fish. But yeah, probably something like as you said, like the food, some variety of food.
Yeah. Yeah. Hmm.
Quite limited here.
Yeah. Or it's just if it's not fish, it's lobster soup.
Yeah.
Just
Although
yeah.
it's not a lobster, it's
No,
not a,
langoustine. Yeah.
yeah, because
Yeah.
lobster is like a huge thing, and this one's a langoustines.
The amount of times I've told Icelanders like this isn't a lobster, and they're like, "No, it is. It's lobster." I'm like, "No, no, it's different. It's a different thing."
Yeah, exactly.
So,
Okay, you found out that there are not any more langoustines available in Iceland, so they're all
ooh.
imported, which was such a super revelation for me because I thought that it's kind of
Yeah. Yeah, I had to buy some. I buy some every few months. I'm vegetarian, so I don't eat it, but my boyfriend does. And I just have them in the freezer for him sometimes. And when I bought them before, they were actually from the UK, imported from the UK, which I was like, it surprised me. Like, yeah,
they
that they
fished
were
all
like,
of them here. They
yeah,
like kind of heavily fished them, and now they're out of
God.
local
Yeah.
langoustines. Yeah,
Mhm.
it's interesting. Fun fact.
Be interesting to see if they kind of stop advertising the lobster soup then, like in the next few years, if they can't get it
I
as
don't.
cheaply, maybe. Yeah, interesting. So, what do you wish that you'd known before moving to Iceland, if anything?
Oh, probably that finding a job without knowing the language would be really a struggle. I'm originally like a marketeer, and it's very difficult to work as a marketeer if you don't know the language, especially in companies which are targeting local Icelanders.
Yeah.
Of course, I can just not work without knowing the language, and probably knowing this and maybe thinking about this a little bit in advance, maybe looking for some remote things. So yeah, preparing for kind of entering the market, and I think the network as well. So when I joined the FKA, it was the huge life changer because I was literally when I moved, for example, to UK, I was studying, and you get all this, network when you're studying immediately, and when you move as a kid, you get the schoolmates and whatever. But when you move as an adult, I would say that.
Yeah.
Uh, and you don't kind of, you just have, for example, a husband or whatever, so you don't have any kind of connections, any circle to even to talk to. So
Mhm.
it's really important, and I would recommend joining some whatever club or FK or some other networking group, and
Mhm.
there are quite a lot of them here
Yeah.
now, at least I think. So yeah, and just going out and meeting people.
Hmm. Hmm. Yeah, yeah. And I think that was also something that was a bit of a shock for me as well, because I didn't know anyone when I came here, and it was yeah, really it really pushes you out of the comfort zone if you're not used to it as well. But I think is a good thing, you know.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah,
Because I mean,
yeah,
in your own country, you probably don't really. I had friends from university, I had friends from school, and I had friends
yeah.
from like my
Work
job
and
or whatever. But so you don't really go out and network.
yeah,
And here you need to really go and meet
yeah,
people and just show up, and it's getting out of your
yeah.
comfort zone. But still, yeah, I would probably recommend to anyone coming just to start straight away and not
Mm-hmm.
to wait and sit alone and yeah.
Hmm. Hmm. Yeah, I think it's very, very important here.
And it's very easy here to organize your own community. For example, like with marketeers, there was no kind of community, so we just organized our group on Facebook, and there were so many people who just joined,
Hmm.
and then we decided let's meet offline, and now we're meeting like once a month, and it's just so easy to form your own community if
Yeah.
you're like passionate for something. It's so easy, and people are really up for it.
Hmm. Hmm. Yeah, yeah. And I think that here it's easy, yeah, if you want to start anything like that, because it's such a small country as well. I think if you start something like that, it's easy to get that well known quickly as well. You know, where like people would hear about it if they were
Yeah,
marketed. Yeah, yeah. I think it's easier here than maybe in some bigger places because
yeah,
word will get out quicker.
absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah. I even met someone in the elevator, and the woman said, "Oh, you're the girl who's making these marketing events." And I'm like, "Oh, okay, great."
Yeah,
Yeah, you
exactly.
should come. Yeah, I wanted to come for many months, but I will come next time.
Yeah.
It was interesting. So people really kind of know
Yeah.
about it somehow because there's probably not that much happenings here. So it's much easier to get visible.
Hmm. Hmm. Yeah, definitely. So, going on from that, do you feel able to reach your full potential professionally in Iceland?
Well, that's of course a difficult
Yeah.
question. I guess this one is the most difficult for many people coming. Uh, No, of course, I was kind of doing marketing for 15 years, and when I came here, it turned out that I need to really change something.
Hmm.
But at the same time, like after 3 years, I'm like, first I started a new hobby, and I'm now went into photography, and I'm now really passionate about it, and I would never do it if I just continued doing what I've done for many years. And at the same time, I started my own business, and it was kind of pushing the boundaries and getting out of comfort zone again. And no, I couldn't find the matching job for me as I had back home. But I guess you will not expect that when moving to another country with another language. No one needs your experience from your country. Everyone kind of, I mean, you're really moving to another place, and you should not expect that you'll get the same level of your professional. So it was maybe at the moment it was bad and upsetting, but now I feel it, I see it as a very good um, thing that happened to me. So I really needed to change, and I'm glad that it happened.
Yeah, it's a really nice perspective to have about it, actually. Yeah,
Because I heard your story, like when we were talking with Sandra, that you really struggled as well, like at first at least.
yeah, yeah. Because it's because of all the protected industries that they have here as well. You know that we don't have this in the UK, and well, not to the same level at least. And yeah, hmm
But in the end, you still really as well managed to somehow,
yeah. Find a
uh,
loophole and
yeah.
yeah, yeah, get into it, and yeah, and hopefully continue to grow it, and yeah, be really
Absolutely.
nice.
And it all makes us, stronger and more
Exactly,
resilient, and maybe opening doors that we were not even thinking of.
exactly, exactly, and making a new path as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, which I think is very nice and scary but good.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. And so, what's your favorite Icelandic word, if you have one?
Wow. It's funny. It's cucumber.
Which is it?
Cucumber.
Kjúklingur. Yeah.
Yes.
Chicken.
Chicken.
Yeah.
I can tell you why. Because when we came here first time, it was basically it was during the COVID.
Yeah.
Um, we were married, so we were being able to travel
Yeah.
because for tourists it was closed. But then
Yes.
we came for the first time, and it turned out that many people, some of the people, during the COVID, they had some animals at home, like chicken, for example, just in the
Mhm.
yard because I don't know why. So
Yeah.
we came and my husband was saying, oh, it's a big city and it's kind of a capital of Iceland. And we live in the center, so we live downtown. And when we first arrived, I was like, oh my God, this is a village. And he's like, no, that's the city center. And then I wake up the first morning and I hear like, "Pak, pak, 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 pak." And I'm like, what is that? Is that some exotic bird? And he was like, no, it's Kjökrungur. It's a chicken. And and he was like, I think I lost the argument. It's a village, okay? Because I was like in the city center, chicken in the yard. I was like, where am I?
So was that also maybe one of the first Icelandic words you learned as well?
Yes,
You could.
exactly.
Yeah.
And the word is so funny itself. So I really learned it, and I was like, and now he even calls me like this. And I'm like, because it's just funny. It's
Yeah,
our favorite word.
yeah.
Yeah, that was. It's so funny to remember the first time I've been here, and I at that point I thought like, no way I'm gonna live here. It's just impossible. But then, never say never.
No, exactly. Mhm.
And what's yours? The
I
favorite
haven't
word?
asked yet, actually. Mine is Ugrow, which is an uncommon one. I learnt it when I was working at a coffee shop because it's the name of a tea blend, and I was just looking up the names of them to learn more words. But it means peace of mind. So very,
Mm,
yeah, I very much like this word. Yeah, and I don't think I've ever heard it in conversation. It's very, very, yeah, it's very, very like rare that I see it written down somewhere. But I like this word because I think it sounds nice and it has a nice meaning
yes,
to it. Yeah.
like it.
So that's the end of the questions. Is there anything else that you would like to add that we haven't spoken about already?
Mm, I would like to say that you're doing a great project.
Thank
Thank you
you.
for that. And I had some thoughts of doing something like this and talking to people with the FKA and maybe, but I think it's really very interesting and very important.
Mhm.
And if it will help somehow, or it will be just maybe useful for someone, it's great.
Yeah.
And even if it's not, it's such a pleasure to talk about this. And I had such a great time now because after 3 years, I have a lot of to reflect, but you don't
Yeah.
usually reflect, just you just don't usually sit and reflect. But these questions are really helping to think about the things and remember and see them in a new perspective.
Well, it's lovely to hear. Thank you. It's really nice. And I really enjoy it because it's also like personally as well. It's given me new perspectives on Iceland that I didn't have before, you know, talking to people. Because I'd kind of
Yeah.
got to the point where I've been here for nearly 8 years now. And I was a little
Wow.
bit, yeah, I've been here a long time. And I was getting to the point where I was a little bit, I guess, bored of Iceland, you know. But now hearing all these perspectives, it's kind of got me excited about it again because I'm hearing all these things that I wouldn't have thought of before. So yeah, it's been a really positive thing. Yeah,
8 years, oh my God.
yeah. Long time. All right, so I have one surprise question from the last guest. And this question is, do you think that living in Iceland has changed you? And if so, how?
Yeah, we touched a little bit on this, but yeah, it definitely changed me, and I'm a totally different person. I changed the like the job I'm doing and the perspective. I really learned to enjoy this quietness and small city and small community,
Mhm.
and I learned to network. I learned so many things, because without this little push or moving to an absolutely new country, I think I would probably like learn much less and develop much less, because I was kind of in the comfort zone, and Iceland is really changing changing you and making you do things that you don't do, like
Mhm.
you would not do probably, like if I stayed in my country. So I think, yeah, it's really been interesting journey, more
Mhm.
to come, of course.
Yes.
But I think anyway, even not with Iceland, moving to a new country changes you all the time.
Yeah,
Everything.
definitely. Mhm. Great. So that's the end of all the questions. So where can people find you?
I have my Instagram, which is Veronika, I don't
Underscore.
Goose.
Yeah.
Yeah, underscore goals. And yeah, and it's just my personal one, but it's open. So yeah, you can follow me, and I put some photography there.
Brilliant. So
And can I also say that we are just started our business with two amazing ladies who are new Ascenders as
yes,
well.
I saw. Yeah, yeah. Please talk about that. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, and basically our mission is to help people find a job in Iceland, because we all kind of struggled with that, and especially Catherine, she's in recruitment, she knows a lot about that. So the idea is to help companies find the people, and in hospitality,
Mhm.
even not
Like
only for the
specialize.
summer season, but maybe for and for the season as well. And the people from both here and from other countries to come to Iceland to work and find a job, and have fun. And our idea is to make it kind of organized and easy and user friendly. So yeah, it's called Ugrow.
Ugrow. Yeah, yeah. I read about it.
Yes.
Yeah, a couple of weeks ago, I think I saw it when it was launching. I was like, oh, this is something exciting, actually. And I think
Yeah.
it's very needed in Iceland as well, I think.
Yeah, we just started, and yeah, I hope I'm very excited. I hope that it will grow, and we will help a lot of people.
Yes, I think you definitely will. So I'll put all the links on the screen and in the description below. So everyone go and check out the links. And so thank you so much for talking to me today, Veronica. It was lovely.
Thank you so much. It was such a pleasure.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank you for very interesting questions.
Thank you.
I'll be looking forward for the next person to answer mine as well.
Thank you. So I hope you enjoyed the interview. The links to Veronica's Instagram and also to the Ugrow website are in the description below, so please go and check those out. Please let me know in the comments below what you thought about this interview. And if you live or have lived in Iceland and would like to be interviewed for this series, please get in touch via my social media. Please like and subscribe if you haven't already. Have a lovely day, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.